Hola, hola. In this video, we are going to be talking about how to find the slanted asymptote of a rational function. Before we begin, I want to take a flashback to how to find the equation of a horizontal asymptote. And lucky for me, I have that sheet of paper. Okay, so to find the equation of a horizontal asymptote, we are going to focus on looking at the degree of both the numerator and denominator of a rational function. If the degree of the top and bottom are the same, then the horizontal asymptote is given by the quotient of the leading coefficients. However, if the degree of the top is less than the degree of the denominator, then there's no way around it. The equation of the horizontal asymptote is given by y equals 0. But now, let's go ahead and look at the third case in terms of comparing the degrees of both the numerator and the denominator. So the question is, when will, I should just say where they can. The question is, where can they be a slanted asymptote? Well, in order to figure that out, we are going to look at the degree of both the numerator and denominator of a rational function. So if the degree of the numerator is exactly 1 more than the degree of the denominator, then there may be a slanted asymptote. And the question is, well, how do we find the slanted asymptote? To find the equation of a slanted asymptote, we are going to use long division to divide the numerator by the denominator, and then the equation is given by y equals quotient of whatever we got. So let's go ahead and look at our fun problem. So it says, given f of x equals that rational function, we want to find the slanted asymptote. Okay, and so to find the slanted asymptote, we're simply going to use long division to divide. So in this case, the divisor is 3x minus 1. And I want to know how many times does it go into the dividend, which is negative 3x squared plus 3x minus 5. All right, let's go ahead and divide. So a flashback to in terms of long division and polynomials. Although we are dividing by 3x minus 1, when it comes to long division, we just focus on the first term. So the question is, how many times does the first term go into the very first term that we see? I know you know the answer, but you're not going to take the test for me, so I'm going to bust out a thinking area. So I want to know how many times does 3x go into negative 3x squared. If we keep our cool, looks like that will give us negative x. So steps for long division, gentle reminder, we're going to divide, multiply, subtract. When we take our time and multiply, that will give us a negative 3x plus 1. So steps to long division, divide, multiply, subtract. We keep our cool, and then we realize that the product, oh, I forgot an x, that the product will give us, and I forgot a square. Yeah, things happen when you do videos in the middle of the night. All right, so when we subtract, negative 3x squared minus negative 3x squared will give us 0. 3x minus 1x will give us 2x. So steps for long division, we're going to divide, multiply, subtract. If there's another term, let's go ahead, bring it down. And you know the drill. Whenever we bring down a term, we have to repeat the entire division cycle. So yes, I do want to know how many times does 3x minus 1 go into 2x minus 5. But when it comes for the division part, we just focus on the first term. So I want to know how many times does 3x go into the very first term that I see. Again, that's a little bit hard for me to swallow. So we have how many times does 3x go into 2x? The x's cancel out, and that will leave us with 2/3. So 2/3 is positive. So steps to long division, divide, multiply, subtract. Product of 2/3 and 3 will give us 2x. Product of 2/3 and negative 1 will give us negative 2/3. So again, steps to long division, divide, multiply, subtract. When we subtract, 2x minus 2x will give us 0, or we cancel out. Negative 5 minus 2/3 with a little elbow grease will give us negative 4 1/3, or negative 13/3. So now the question is, what is the equation of the slanted asymptote? So we're going to focus on the quotient, but I'm going to label a couple of things. So in this case, our quotient, it's a pretty long word, is given by negative x plus 2/3. Our divisor, that's code for what did you divide by, is given by 3x minus 1. And then our leftover entry is the remainder. So the question is, we did the tough work, but where's the equation? So the equation of the slanted asymptote is given by y equals whatever you got for the quotient. So in this case, the quotient is negative x plus 2/3. So the slanted asymptote is given by y equals negative x plus 2/3. So I took the liberty to graph this function using Desmos. By the way, Desmos is awesome. Okay, so we have y equals negative x plus 2/3. If we were to graph this by using the slope and y-intercept, the y-intercept is 2/3 and the slope is -1. So we would locate 2/3 on the y-axis, and then we apply the slope. So we go 1 down and 1 unit to the right, and then you have it. That will be the graph of the slanted asymptote. That's my time.